First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast. It's episode 93 of the Hop Nation USA Podcast, featuring Adam.
Hello.
And a very special guest this week, KDT.
Hi.
We're here with beer. That's our thing.
It's what we do.
I don't know if you've
Picked up on that.
Well, maybe I'm talking, there's maybe been a misclick. You're looking for something else and you wound up on a beer podcast. That's where you are now.
I don't think it was a misclick. I think they clicked blindly instead, and they're here.
Right.
I'm here for the beer.
They didn't screw up. They just ended up here.
That's fine.
Fate.
Well, keep listening and you'll find out that they've found themselves in good company.
We are the Albuquerque of the podcast world.
Sure.
Nobody wanted to be here. You just ended up here.
Oh, I don't want to say that. I think a lot of people want to be here.
I mean,
I do.
I wanted to be here. Yeah. I wanted to be here.
3 at minimum. Nobody wants to be in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I don't want to be in Albuquerque, although maybe because of the weather.
It's better than what we got right now.
I could check it out for a couple of days.
All right,
Never been there.
Let's stop being old people and talking about the weather.
New Mexico. It's. I was about to say it's the hot thing on everybody's tip of the tongue, but it's not accurate.
No, not at all. Not at all. Let's talk beers.
Yes. I did want to preface it with the weather a little bit because we are going to be talking about warmer climate beer.
Yes, we are.
Yes. It's been a bit. We haven't done an episode technically like this in a while, but we did set out with a mission to do one episode for all 50 states in the Union, and we are picking that back up.
Yes, not to mention the District of Columbia.
And District of Columbia, so 51.
Yeah.
How many have we done so far then?
4?
Colorado?
93 episodes, 4 state-centric.
We're not very good at this.
We're not good at this.
No,
our
you're just
distro isn't.
You're leaving yourself a lot of potential.
That's right.
That's all.
It's a lot of potential. It's like teasing it out. 6 seasons in a movie.
So Entourage.
Yes.
Yeah. But this week we're going to do Florida.
A fine state.
A warm state.
It's even more important.
A warm
Warm state.
A warm state. So we're going to kick it off right quick with probably one of the most well-known breweries in PA.
Wait.
From Florida.
From Florida. Okay.
Yeah, from
all right.
Florida. Yeah.
All right. Don't be switching it on me.
No. One of the most well-known breweries from Florida in
Thank you.
PA. Cigar City Brewing out of Tampa, Florida. And we have
the Space Pope.
the Space Pope is an India Pale Ale with 45 IBUs and 7.2 on the alcohol.
And of course, Space Pope is a reference to the Futurama episode where they had a Space Pope.
Right. And it was a lizard.
Yes.
That's even mentioned in the Untapped write-up.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I
yes.
didn't know that.
It starts out, is the Space Pope reptilian?
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
However, if you look at the can, this Space Pope is a shark.
Oh.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Space Shark, Space Pope.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I like to think it's a Space Cardinal.
So I do appreciate that they made the Space Pope with Galaxy hops.
Well, yeah. How could you not?
You'd be a jerk.
Yeah. It's also made with Mosaic, Citra, and Hallertau Blanc.
Hallertau Blanc.
Yes.
Did we get an IBU on this one?
45.
45? Okay.
Yes.
Low key for you.
Great.
You don't have to
Hopefully.
spit it out.
I'll drink it. I'll drink most anything.
I like the pain.
I mean, if you listen to last week's episode, you know.
You were a trooper.
You are
for someone who
correct.
hates IPAs. There was a lot coming at you in one episode.
Well, in previous episodes, we had some beers that I like that others don't, so it was time to return the favor.
Well, the cream ale episode seemed to go okay.
Yeah, that one went fine for Adam. And I kind of gave him the cream ale episode because I kind of knew last week's episode was going to happen too.
I didn't realize the one beer was a cream ale. I could have gotten it to you sooner. Could have been featured then.
That's all right.
We'll just have to drink it now.
We still got to give Florida their love. We're still going to give Florida their love.
It's part of the format. It's part of the format. However, the third segment will be paying tribute to Florida in a certain way, using a certain news headline that's very popular, that usually starts with
yes. Okay.
Florida man.
My favorite obscure Florida story was the girl who was visiting her friend and went to go and make like Totino's pizza rolls or something like that, and she preheated the oven, and the bullets that were stored in the oven went off and shot her in the leg.
Nice.
That's one of my favorite ridiculous Florida stories.
I'm going to assume that was North Florida.
I don't know. Florida's upside down from the rest of the country because you have your urban folks that would remind me of like New York or Boston. They're all the way down in Miami. And then your middle of the country, Midwest people are like mid-state, St. Pete, Tampa. And then your deep south is up north, like Gainesville and Alachua. So Florida's upside down.
The further south you go, the more northern you get.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just proof that Miami has the better real estate, the nicer, and that's where all the rich people want to put their money.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been there, but it makes me think of the birdcage. And if it's like that, then I want to go.
Could be. I don't know. I've never been either.
I mean, I'd hang out with Nathan Lane. I'd be all right.
Right? If him and Robin Williams are there, I'm in.
Yeah.
Put me down for that.
My big interest in Florida is the key lime pie that has the meringue stacked way high. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's all you. You can have my slice.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well, good to know that we also will not give you any of our tall grass key lime pie beer.
No, I wouldn't drink it. It would get wasted in my house.
Well,
speaking of getting wasted,
yeah.
Hey,
let's talk about this beer.
Hey, it looks like a hazy IPA, even though it's not marketed as such.
No, but it honestly,
is, yeah.
If this was on last week's episode, I think it would seriously not only fit right into it, probably be a leader in the pack.
Yeah, I would say clarity-wise, it's a little more clear than that Fat Orange Cat that we had, but it's a little hazier than the Consolation Prize.
Agreed.
This looks like
there you
Blue
go.
Moon to me.
Yes, it also does look a little bit like a Belgian.
Yeah.
On the nose, though, you can tell it's not.
No, it is 0% Belgian.
Yeah, I smelled it as soon as I opened the can.
Same here.
Puffed in my nose.
Well, as you poured them out and they were sitting on the table, I could kind of get a couple of wafts of hops.
It smells tropical-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Tiny bit of pineapple.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the pineapple.
Shall we?
Okay, time for drinks.
Still pineapple.
I dig it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not overbearing.
No.
It is not overbearing. No, it still has that IPA-ness to it, but it is not a punch in the face.
No, definitely not.
And I like that.
Non-palate wrecking.
Now, I will say, if you take a quick swig on it, rather than kind of try to
Savor.
savor it, yeah, it does have a little bit more of a hop spike to it. If
Yeah.
You just take just a quick hitter.
Yeah, I can feel the hops linger.
Yeah, it doesn't linger too much, though.
No.
It's not like sickeningly resinous or anything like that.
Right.
Definitely not.
Or bitter. Yeah,
No, I don't
know.
think it's bitter at all.
Yeah, not at all. Doesn't it like?
But
I mean, I like it, so it doesn't bother me at all. So it's hard.
If you're not an IPA fan, is that bitter?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's like for me, it's like this is really good drinking. I like it.
No, I can definitely tell that it is a hop centric beer. I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
It is definitely a lot softer than other ones that I've had
Right.
for the style. It is. I don't want to say inoffensive because that sounds insulting.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's inoffensive.
Yeah.
In a good way.
I think I'm glad we kind of had that cream ale episode a couple episodes ago because now I'm reminded. Oh yeah, beers do have really soft sides.
Oh yeah.
Because for me, this one is just like, oh, this is totally drinkable as any day, anytime. Just have it whenever.
For you.
For me, yeah, for me.
Not for me, though.
But I had to be reminded sometimes beers are actually softer.
Yeah, you got to recenter yourself.
That is the beer I open when I get home from work and start making dinner.
Not for me.
No, not for you.
No. Now I might be willing to put a brat in a bath of this.
Oh, that'd be good.
You know,
That'd be pretty good.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, this makes me think of like fruit salad.
I could see that with the
What's
citrus
that?
notes, the pineapple-y notes on
Yeah,
it.
you just pair this with fruit salad for like lunch or whatever.
Ambrosia salad. That's what it's making me think of.
Oh, is
When
that,
you said fruit salad, that's my head, but I'm still on the pineapple.
is that the shit where it's like?
I think it's like pineapple and like.
I thought it was like marshmallow and Jello. And
I think
shit
that's
like
in there too. I don't know. I've never made it.
that. Okay.
The hell kind of salad are you guys eating?
It's not like a real salad. It's like
It's a 1950s
Like, what's
salad.
the Jello pretzel salad? It's not actually salad.
All
it's
right.
just a bunch of junks in a bowl, so they call it a salad.
So there's no neighborhood bar in Pittsburgh that's gonna try to put French fries on it.
No.
I hope not.
Well,
But maybe.
could.
If they drink a lot of these beers, they might think that's a good idea.
Somebody might try it, but
the French fries in the Jello.
Just to be clear, we're not recommending this. You may try this at home, but we're not telling you to do it.
And honestly, don't tell us if you did it.
No, actually, I want to see that.
yeah, no, tell us. I'm actually going to pitch something to somebody.
Tag the show.
Tag the show. I'm going to pitch something, though. You make gravy, and then you put a little gelatin in the gravy,
Okay.
and then you put fries in the gravy, and you let it set up in a mold, and you got poutine salad.
Oh.
I'm out.
So that's interesting. Now, how would
Wait,
you
should
go
there
about?
be... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there should be cheese curds
Yeah.
as well.
Well, yeah, you can add more to it, but I'm just saying I'm giving a base recipe of gravy and fries
All right.
in the gelatin.
Time for some experimentation.
Yeah.
I'm going to need pics if this happens.
All right.
Pics or it didn't
Somebody
happen.
do it.
I got
Ugh.
spare bread tins. We can make this happen.
Can it be any French fry? Is there a particular, like, does it have to be a thicker, like, potato patch French fry? Or can you just use, like, the Wendy's new sea salt? Because that's not new anymore. It's been,
Nah.
like, 4 years.
Right.
I'm just old, I guess.
I would say that sweet potato fries are right out.
Sweet potato fries are out. Arby's curlies are out.
Right.
Oh, those are both good, though.
They
no,
are.
They're
Oh,
great.
yeah.
They're great. I would maybe okay waffle fries as a bed.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
They are sturdier.
Yeah.
Mad Max has really good waffle fries.
They really do.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's look into this.
Somebody else with a kitchen podcast, check it out. Figure it
I
out.
want poutine now, but maybe not with the gelatin. I don't even... Where do we get a cheese curd in our area, though?
There's got to be a cheesemonger around here somewhere.
Somewhere.
Strip district. There has to be a cheesemonger
Oh,
in the
yeah.
strip district.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Yeah, it's true. They do.
Do Marky D's not do it? They got the cheese thing in the Robinson one,
They
but I don't
do.
know if they
I-
have curd.
I don't know either.
I got
We can go check.
lost in the Settlers Ridge Market District the first time I was in there.
They changed everything up.
It's very large.
Yeah, they swapped it all around. Now bread is where like the cooking utensils used to be. And you walk straight in and you're right in the pop aisle now.
I don't know. I go in, I go to beer, and I leave.
The beer is the same place. That's the key.
Beer same
That's
place. That's the
fine.
important part. Oh, is that bar still where it's supposed to be? All right, then.
Yeah, got it.
that's-
Got
everything
it.
else is
I don't care.
noise.
As long as I can get the bar and the sushi in the same area, I don't give a shit.
I'm fortunate that I can shop at the commissary for my groceries so I can save money to buy more beer.
That's why I switched to Aldi's.
Priorities.
Priorities. So you bring up the commissary because you are in the military.
Air
We-
Force.
We've mentioned that, I believe,
Yay.
an episode or two ago. Two.
Yeah.
When Dennis was on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because Dennis was Army. Yeah,
Dennis was
yeah.
Army.
we feud. There's feuds among the branches, except for the Coast Guard. So it's like, you'll hear like the Marine Corps call us all like I can say whatever I want, right?
Oh, yeah,
They'll
yeah,
call
yeah.
us all a bunch of pussies and like, oh, because you don't actually do any real work, because the Marine Corps is like the hardcore, like, and they've earned it. I didn't go to boot camp for like ever.
I'm pretty sure the Marine Corps calls everybody pussies.
Exactly.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying.
That's
And
not
then, like,
interbranch fighting. That's just Marines calling everybody
yeah.
pussies.
And then like we all kind of just like generally hate the Navy, but there's nothing wrong with the Navy, so you just kind of like cling to like the gay jokes because there's nothing else. But then that's like inappropriate these days, so like that's just kind of fallen by the wayside. And then like everybody calls the Air Force the chair force because all we do is sit and do no work, which is a lie sometimes.
Gotten
And
up from
then
my chair a couple times.
and then in the Air Force, we say everything like, if you ever hear they say something is idiot proof, well, we always say it's Army proof.
Nice.
It's Army smart, which means it's really dumbed down. So like those are like the general memes that we all just kind of throw at each other. But then there's the Coast Guard. It technically falls under the Department of Transportation. So like anytime somebody speaks up like, well, the Coast Guard, you'll just see every head's like, whoop. No, you don't get to say you're not real military. Sit down.
So you were in the Army?
Air Force.
Air Force?
Oh my goodness.
Shots fired. Air Force. I fix airplanes.
Yeah. But a part of that, you did a lot of traveling.
I do a lot of traveling, just personally, because I guess maybe because of the Air Force, I've just made friends all over the place in general. And like as people get out, they relocate to different places. But since my husband works for an airline, I get to fly for free anyway. So it's like, well, I just have to sit standby for 2 hours and I can go to Atlanta, or in this case, Florida, or wherever. So
you've been on a number of beer ventures then?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's more like I go places and I'm like, while I'm here, let's find a brewery. Oh, yes, I am here to visit you, Mom. But also, we're going this way.
So what is your favorite traveling brewery experience outside of Pittsburgh for the listeners who are in our Pennsylvania area looking for somewhere to go?
Intracoastal, actually, which is going to be one of the beers that we have later. My husband was so enthralled, he bought a hat, which is a big deal because it didn't say New York Giants or New York Yankees on it, and he still wears it. So, but yeah, no, Intracoastal was just a happy accident. I was looking at beers in the area because we were in Satellite Beach, and that was one that popped up. I think it's actually in Melbourne, so it was 15 minutes away from where we were. And I was like looking at their beer list, and I'm like, this place, like, I like this list. It's got beers that I would drink, beers that he would drink. Like, it wasn't just, a sheet of IPAs.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm really off put by that. I need diversity. So, so we're like, all right, well, let's go check this one out. And we hopped out of our Uber, and there was a party happening just randomly. So there was like food trucks all around, and like there's like it kind of reminded me of what's the one in Millvale?
Grist House.
Thank you, Grist House. Brain fart. But so like there's an outdoor area and there's like a little indoor area, and they had like board games, they had shuffleboard, and apparently like the pop-up party is just like every other week down there. This one was specifically Christmas themed, so there was people in Santa outfits passing out koozies and stuff like that. Their sampler is like not huge. I think there was like 6 or 9 of them instead of like just normal 4 flight.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a good time. I really enjoyed Intracoastal, and all the beers were great. Honestly, there was not a single beer I disliked, and the only one my husband disliked was the Snickerdoodle, but he hates cinnamon. So what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. I hate grapefruit. I don't like it. It doesn't matter what.
Exactly. So
I do have to ask a question since Sam isn't here. Do they allow dogs there?
yes.
Okay. Then
Oh my God, I pet all the dogs. Yes.
you're gonna fit in just fine.
Yes, I pet all the dogs. I'm a dog human. I do have a cat, but we're not convinced he knows he has a cat. No, I have 2 pit bull mixes. Unless my insurance company is listening, then they're lab mixes. But no. One is actually a pit bull Australian cattle dog 50-50, and he kind of looks more like a hyena.
Oh, okay.
He looks like one of the hyenas from The Lion King. I don't know another way to explain it. Like, to the extent that my friend tried to convince us to name him Eddie, but instead we named him Jake, and we call him Jake S. Farm. I haven't found dog khakis yet, but we're working on it.
He sounds ugly.
He's so ugly. He looks like a hyena. I'm obsessed with my dogs. You can cut all this out because I know. If you leave me alone, I will talk about my dogs for like an hour. And then there's the cat, and his name is Phil Katzel.
Nice.
You're welcome.
An awesome name.
Yeah, it gets better. My coworker named his cat Mario Lemieux. He was torn between Marc-Andre Furry and Mario Lemieux, and I believe he went with Mario Lemieux. And then he was like telling me this, and I was like, that's perfect, because my cat's Phil Katzel. They should hang out.
Does Phil Katzel eat hot dogs?
He would if I let him. He really enjoys Chinese food. I let him have duck. But you can't give them garlic, so you have to be very particular.
Your cat is part vampire.
Yes. Like Banicula.
All cats are part vampire.
Okay.
We've unlocked it.
Do you guys know what Banicula is?
Wasn't that?
Yes.
Like
Do you? Okay.
Yes.
My husband he's 2 years younger than me. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm 34, so he's 32. He has no idea what Banicula is. Do you remember Banicula?
Wasn't that on sale at like the Scholastic Book Fair?
It was like an easy reader when you were in like
Yeah.
2nd grade about this vampire bunny rabbit
Yeah.
that would suck all the juice out of the vegetables in the refrigerator
Yeah,
at night.
okay, yeah.
And the one book was called The Celery Stalks at Midnight.
Yep.
It was like, baby's first pun. Yeah. All right, I'm just glad somebody else remembers it.
Oh, no, I got you back. Don't worry. I got all that obscure stuff, apparently.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I vaguely remember it.
Oh, yeah, if it's
It was
useful
like-
trivia, I'm
yeah.
out.
It was like
Oh, no,
right-
this is very useful.
How is Banicula useful?
One day it will be useful.
Okay.
I don't know
One day.
how, I don't know when, and I don't know why.
Adam, you found kind of a treasure trove of throwing out references on the show.
True.
Like, it's useful in that way to stump everybody else into saying, what the fuck is Dino Riders?
I am impressed by the Sporty Man references. And I remember Dino Riders, by the way.
Thank you.
I talked to you guys. You guys can't hear me because I'm listening, because it's also like 3 days after you've actually recorded. But I'm talking to you, and you guys like, Fat Orange Cat has a raspberry chocolate stout that I had not too long ago, because you guys were wondering if they have a stout. And I was talking to you during the episode. You just didn't know. And I'm like, oh, I got to remember to tell them that exists.
If it makes you feel any better, every once in a great while, I'll listen to an episode and I'll rehear a conversation, and I'll hear either Steve or Sam say something, and my immediate thought is to respond with something, and then I will respond with the same exact thing that is in my head. Like I talked over myself with myself.
Well, you know what? At least that's a good way to judge that you're not a person who flip-flops on the issues.
That's right.
Yeah, no, you're consistent. That's good.
You're
We're
about
missing that.
you're about to yell at the man on the radio that has the same exact opinion that you do.
I can't handle yelling at the radio. Mark Madden comes on. I gotta change it because I just start screaming. Like, no, can't do it.
Mark Madden's an excellent heel, but yeah, I can't listen to him either.
Right.
I never know anymore. Like, does he really feel the way that he feels, or is he just saying it to get a rise out of people?
He's working the audience most of the time.
That's what I think, but I don't know. Sometimes he's so right about things, though. It just makes me so mad. I'm like, I want you to be wrong just once, you dick. Damn it.
Anybody will tell you the best heels are right. You just hate the way they present it.
Speaking of right,
Yeah?
let's talk about me now.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Go
I got
for it.
nothing. I really don't have anything.
Okay, do you have maybe a news story?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you something.
that actually is right. So remember back in 2017
No.
when the Brewers Association.
I don't
it was a
remember
rough
too-
year for you, huh?
I don't
No,
remember
I barely remember
breakfast.
2 episodes ago.
I don't remember breakfast.
So the Brewers Association, they came out with their independent craft beer logo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they have upped the ante a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They have introduced a new logo for the Brewers Association Certified Independent Craft Beer Supporter.
Okay, so like ally?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is their ally sticker.
All right.
So if you support independent craft beer, whether you are a website or a news blog or a podcast or
Any adjacent business.
us, yes, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
if you are independent craft beer adjacent,
Okay.
there are logos available that you can put on your website, things of that nature. So they've kind of upped the ante to include those that are independent craft beer adjacent.
Okay.
So that got introduced today.
Neat.
They also brought in a new website. Would you like to hear what it is?
Sure.
It is supportindependentbeer.com.
Oh, okay.
So
Simple.
yeah, exactly. It's nice. So I'm just throwing that out there. We might put that on the website.
Yeah, maybe. As soon as I get my ass in gear. I did redesign the website a little bit, hopnationusa.com,
Go check it out.
to include a link to our t-shirts on TeePublic.
A little note that the Brewers Association is expanding the envelope of independent craft beer to support those that are adjacent.
Yeah. And anybody who just wants to say that they support it.
Right.
Because you might have, I'm thinking there's Prohibition Pastries here in Pittsburgh, and they provide all those nice treats that come in the First Sip brew box, but they make like whoopie pies and stuff, and the buttercream is made with beer.
Yeah.
So maybe they would want to say, hey.
We'll send them a link.
Yeah. Or Pot Liquor, out of Vermont. They make beer jelly. So
Yes.
yeah.
Very good beer jelly, by the way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I'm telling you. You know this.
I noticed.
I bought 2
Tell
of
the
them.
audience.
Yeah.
I bought 2 of them at the Christmas thing.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. I think just a short plug for First Sip. I believe they're adding a new flavor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we know what it is?
No.
Bummer.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Go to firstsipbrewbox.com and find out maybe eventually.
Yeah, maybe eventually. And then use the promo code you heard at the top of the show.
Building suspense.
Okay, plug. We're done.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we got First Sip. We got the t-shirts.
Yeah.
We got us.
Website.
We're good.
Yeah, we're all good.
Pastry place.
Pastry place. That's right.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, do we want to come back to the Space Pope, though,
Yes.
and his declarations of hoppiness?
Yes. Let us. Would you like me to go first?
No, I'm just gonna say if the Space Pope is gonna say, "Hey, beer tastes like this," then I'll be like, "Okay, Space Pope, that's cool."
So, like, can you find that Futurama episode and every time that they say Space Pope, just dub it over every time we say
Space Pope.
Or will we get sued to high hell for that?
I could do that, but that also sounds like a lot of work.
It'd be so funny.
What's actually going to be funnier is if I actually do that, and we've already been saying Space Pope in the Futurama voice, and nobody knows. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time, and I annoy people when I put in sound effects when they get reference to be put in, and you've already heard the sound effect.
Welcome to the future.
I need that to happen.
The old Terminator timeline of things happening.
Have you seen this boy?
But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this beer.
I liked it. I definitely liked it.
I can appreciate what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too mean to you.
No, it wasn't. I know what they're going for, and what they went for, it was done quite well.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
And, just a little added note, it didn't come in on a hype beast train.
No.
So I can just appreciate it as a beer and not actually be disappointed in any way.
It just showed up as,
Space Pope.
Just showed up as the Space Pope. I was like, oh, okay. Space Pope's fine.
All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Moving it on. All right. Well, we're going to come back with segment 2. And segment 2 is going to be a lot of fun. I think maybe.
I hope so.
Oh, no.
So stay tuned.
I'm anxious.
Check this out. There's a Seattle company called Tavour that enables discovery of new and exciting beers and breweries. Tavour gets the best independent beer from literally around the world. Denmark, Belgium, New Zealand, and of course everywhere in the US. The app is incredibly simple to use to get some ridiculously good beers delivered right to your door. And right now, anyone who signs up with the code HOPNATION can save $10 off any order of over $25. That's TAVOUR.com, Tavour. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 93 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're doing Florida, America's penis.
I believe the proper nomenclature is America's Wang.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Just so you know. Let's be politically correct here.
4 out of 5 doctors call it America's Wang.
Jesus.
But yes, we're here. We're doing beers from all over the great state of Florida because we're trying to get ourselves into a warmer mindset.
Yes.
After the Polar Vortex has frozen everything over.
After?
Yes. That's when.
Tomorrow's supposed to be 0. What do you mean there's no after?
Well, I mean, it's Friday, so.
Friday at noon when everybody's supposed to listen.
No, I mean the next 5 days are supposed to be 0.
It doesn't matter. I don't know. It's right in the middle. Somebody else figure it out.
It's Western Pennsylvania. It's January. It's cold.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
Suck
Nobody
it.
wants to be here.
No.
It's cold. Suck it.
No.
I'm all right with it. I'm fat, so. I get to last longer than the rest of you.
Oh, man, I can't do cold. I'm so bad at it.
Layers. All the layers.
Yep.
So, we do have a second beer, though.
We do.
Yay.
Would you like to hear about it?
Please.
So this one comes from Brew Hub.
Brew Hub?
Brew Hub. I don't know if it's the Brew Hub. I think it's just Brew Hub. You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of how other things that are hubs.
Oh,
They could really stand to rebrand this can now that I know what that.
Brew Hub.
Yeah.
I get that.
I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Pornhub.
Oh, wow. My brain didn't even go there.
My brain's always there, so.
No, more of a red tube person.
All
Anyway,
right, fair enough.
I live in the gutter.
Dad, don't listen to this episode.
Anyways, as he tries to pull out of this nosedive.
Pull up, pup.
No, I saw that on RedTube too.
Yeah.
So from Brew Hub, we have the Matte Black.
Yes.
This is a black lager brewed with coffee.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Just so you know, it is Guatemalan coffee.
Fancy.
Yes, that has been, of course, cold brewed. Duh.
Durr.
Der.
Duh. Why wouldn't you?
Adoy.
Yes. So it's a black lager, so it's a Schwartz beer.
Schwarzbier.
Yes. I see your Schwartz beer is as big as mine. 5% ABV, 20 IBUs, and at least 1 grown.
Huh, only 5%. That sounds really drinkable.
Sorry.
That sounds really drinkable.
Sorry, I bought you this low beer. My beer.
Huh.
Ooh.
So while you pour this one up, I just had another beer that had coffee in it from Masthead. It's called Single Origin Coffee Beer,
Okay.
and it was made with Ethiopian coffee.
Very nice.
So maybe I'll never be able to tell the difference between coffee.
I can tell you the difference between a light roast and a dark roast, and that's about it.
I cannot. I just drink coffee and then I enjoy my coffee.
A light roast is roasted less than a dark roast.
You got it.
But has more caffeine than a dark roast.
Also true, yes,
Yeah,
because it
they
doesn't get burnt off.
Cook the coffee out.
So if you're looking to get hype, go for a
Light
light roast.
Blonde roast, I think, is like the fashionable
Fashionable.
whatever. I like Gecko coffee. Don't judge me.
You can't. I drink the free stuff in the office.
Oh yeah, I do that
So-
too. Well, I get free coffee at Gecko with a military ID.
Oh, very nice.
So, Dennis, if you're listening, I know you're not because you're not on this episode, but that's okay.
You might pick it up. Who knows?
This just smells like coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, you can smell the coffee almost as quickly as you can just try to look at it. It's dark, but if you bend it against the light, it does have like red and
Yeah,
brown hues to it. You can kind of see through it.
little redder than coffee, but
Yes.
definitely coffee.
Yeah. So it's not matte black. I was expecting a completely opaque stouty beer, but
Sorry, my dude. Well, it's
Well.
not a stout.
Well, it's called
I know.
matte black,
I
so
know,
you
they're calling it
expect it
matte
to be
black.
matte black.
change the name.
Change
Already.
change your brewery name, change your beer name.
No, don't change the brewery name. Change the branding. So they get the nice.
At least the can is a matte black.
Do you want like a picture of a couch on the can or something?
Could be a couch
Black
on the can.
leather.
Really
for
lean
no
into it.
particular reason.
Really lean into it. Have fake taxis. Have the couches.
All right, as I pull back on this yoke with all my might, we're gonna miss these mountains. Damn it!
Can you tell I'm in the military?
I ain't even gotten into the weird stuff, Adam.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, but on the nose.
Anyway, this coffee smells like
That's
beer.
that's how you avoid the mountains.
On the nose.
Yeah. So on the nose, it smells just like a really fresh roast of coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink this.
Yep.
Well, I'd hope so. No point in going against format now.
Ooh, that's really good.
That is cold brew.
I really like that.
The end.
Huh. I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm actually just kind of surprised. It is a lot different than I'm used to with a lot of coffee beers.
I think maybe because so many coffee beers tend to be like a stout and a porter, and this is definitely a lager.
Yeah, you can
So
definitely
it's-
tell it's
yeah.
a lager on the back end.
Yeah, I really like this beer.
It doesn't have that like I'm used to like a syrupy consistency with strong like coffee stouts.
Right.
And this is not that.
It's usually a big robust beer.
Yeah.
This is a very smooth drinker. I am a big fan of this beer.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised my husband liked this beer because he hates cold coffee, and this is cold coffee.
Yeah, this is cold coffee for sure.
Yeah.
It has, I don't want to say it's thin,
No,
but like what you're already saying, like
Yeah,
you expect syrupy.
You expect it to be a thick, heady beer,
Yeah.
and it's just a lager.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
put it in the same arena as the Cold Drip City from Spoonwood.
Ooh.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
In so much that it's not a big, heavy coffee beer.
it's not a big heavy coffee.
I'm sorry,
stout.
big coffee stout.
Yeah.
Yes, I misspoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lighter beer, but it still has that good coffee flavor to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, you can definitely tell it's a lager. So it also sets itself apart from the Cold Drip City that way too.
True. Yes.
So yeah. This is a really interesting beer. I don't hate it. I just want I'm just
No, it's just
Having-
different. It's just
I'm just enjoying taking it apart.
unexpected. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just drinking it. I just
Right,
really
yeah.
like this. This is one of those beers where I don't want to dissect it. I don't want to get into the minutia of it. I just want to drink it and enjoy it.
Well, you don't have to. You love lagers anyway. So
I love lagers and I love coffee beers.
I love lamb.
yeah.
It was
No, that's an
there.
evil genius.
It was there. I like that beer too, though.
Funny enough, I have a evil
Oh,
genius
you
glass
do?
right
Yeah.
here.
You are welcome.
I have never met an evil genius I disliked, actually. Not yet.
Kind of hard. They're pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've had like 30 of them. I think I've had
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe 8.
I mean, that's still a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's more than enough to figure out if you like a brewery or not.
exactly. Yeah. If you've gotten to 8 and you're still not sure, then I think that's on you.
Yeah. Well, this is a good beer, and we're going to enjoy it.
Damn right. as we reach cruising altitude once again.
As we level off into a cruising altitude.
I wanted to read the weird line on the can again. There it is. These two brews engage in an elegant and subtle dance. So would you say that is accurate after having tasted it?
I would say that.
Okay.
I would say that.
All right.
It is very dancey.
Dancy?
Yeah.
For me, it actually reminds me of video editing.
How
And
so?
So it kind of reminds me of a crossfade, of fading from one to another. There's a lot of coffee up front, and it seamlessly kind of fades to a lager.
But
Okay.
not necessarily as harsh as like a Star Wipe.
Right. No, definitely not as harsh or as obnoxious or out of date as a Star Wipe. We're back at cruising altitude. Things are nice and easy, and we're going to move on to our next segment.
Great.
Yes. This is an interesting story, and
Oh, yeah. I'm here for this.
yeah. In the past, we've done true crime segments, but they've been focused more on the staircase and those rascally Averys
With the RAV4.
hiding the RAV4 in the junkyard, don't you know?
I'm the only person in America who has not watched that.
You've not watched Making a Murderer?
I have not watched Making a
You
Murderer.
are not the only person in America.
Yeah.
You haven't watched it?
I have
not.
Okay, I read some article about it and was like, all right, well, now that's everything I needed to know. I don't need to watch it. Like,
Yeah. If you
spend my time elsewhere.
yes, you can spoil yourself on a 5-minute article, or you can waste 20 hours on a TV show.
Yeah, I didn't go
That's
the
up to you.
20-hour route.
Yeah,
Then
that's
you
up to you.
You can use that time to watch documentaries on the Fire Festival instead.
Oh, I'm not watching that either.
That was good fun.
We super left turned, though. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
That's fine. No. Maybe your homework should be either watch the Fire Festival documentary or Trigger Warning by Killer Mike.
Okay, that I'll watch.
I need to watch that.
Big
yeah.
Killer Mike fan.
Yeah, me too.
Love me some Killer Mike.
That's I think that's everybody's homework for next week. Watch Trigger Warning on Netflix.
Not to get too political again, but did you watch his interview with Bernie Sanders?
Which one?
You should.
He's been out with Bernie a couple times.
I've only seen one. It's like the two of them sitting on a stage, just going back and forth. But it was good.
Yeah, I just know that Run the Jewels and Killer Mike especially was repping Bernie back then.
RTJ is a great show. If you haven't gone,
I haven't.
totes
I feel
recommend it.
feel bad.
Well, when your birthday comes around.
Don't feel bad. Just they'll be back.
I'm sure they will. But yes, I'll get to it at some point when I get money to do things like that.
But anyway, they're from Georgia, and Florida's near Georgia. Mm-hmm. Go.
Yeah, they're close. Well, nice try, but we're actually going to Kentucky.
Still south.
Yeah,
Bluegrass
still
state.
southish.
Still south.
So there was an article posted, and we get to talk true crime, and we actually get to talk brewery true crime for
This
a change.
is relevant to our
Yeah,
interest.
it's super relevant. So there was an article posted on Sunday on Kentucky Sports Radio, of all places.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
Was it KentuckySportsRadio.com?
yeah, I believe so. Yes, I
Are there
believe that's
sports
the site.
teams in Kentucky?
Like the Bowling Green, whatever's.
What are the Bowling Greens?
There's isn't there the Cardinals that are in Louisville?
Louisville? Yes.
Yeah, Louisville.
Oh,
Then you got the
yeah.
Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, it's
Then
a lot
you
of
got,
college.
You got the
sports.
Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
There you go.
Why do you know that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Adam knows a lot of sports.
Got it.
Adam doesn't have Netflix. He has NCAA TV.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they do have some sports teams.
Yes, they do.
But there was an article posted that was actually beer related.
Okay.
And so all credit due to Michael Moeller. He put together basically this amazing expose. This is actually really good investigative journalism that was done.
I'm going to ask an asshole question.
Go ahead, asshole. Can I finish?
No, you got your whole
Can I finish
segment.
plugging him first?
All right, go ahead.
Then you can have your asshole question.
All right.
If you want to find him, though, contact him on Twitter at Michael D. Moeller, Moeller. Asshole question, go.
Well, you already answered my question.
Yeah.
The asshole question was, is he related to the other Mueller?
No, not Mueller. This is Moeller.
Well, now I know that.
Yeah.
Now that I had it spelled out for me. So, asshole question averted.
All right.
Both graded investigations.
Yes, both graded investigations. There's something about that. But he put together this article, and this expose delves into a man by the name of Stephen Foster. Mm-hmm. And he is apparently a giant con man in the world of craft brewing. So
What is there to con in craft brewing?
Well, we'll find out.
Sorry.
Strap in.
Good
Thinking
question.
out loud.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a good question. Way to be representative of the audience. What can you con people in craft beer? Well, for one, you can lie about your credentials. Yeah. So we're gonna start in 2017, and Stephen Foster approaches Molly and Brandon Oliver, and they own a farm in Kentucky.
I think everyone in Kentucky owns a farm.
That's very quite possible. But what he does is he garners $25,000 from them and other investors to start a brew operation in their grain bin on their farm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So he starts this up and he begins brewing. And by August 2017, they incorporate into the St. Arnulf Alery.
That's a weird name.
It was hard to
St. Arnold Alery.
Arnulf.
Arnulf.
Yeah.
That's not a word.
Yeah, it's like Arnold plus elf. Arnulf.
Arnulf.
Arnulf Alery.
Arnold and Adolf? Arnulf?
Arnulf could be that too.
I'm going to say it's Arnold, but he got a failing grade, so it's Arnulf instead.
Don't name your kids when you're drunk.
Don't name your breweries when you're bad either.
Pontiac Solstice, get over here.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to name my kid Pontiac Solstice.
I'm going to tell your kid why.
That's a lie. I own a Grand Prix. Of course I'll name it Grand Prix.
Oh, goodness.
But they incorporate and he begins ramping up operations and taking in even more investors to the point that by September of 2018, he starts construction of a beer garden also on the farm property, and by Christmas, he leaves it.
And when you say leaves,
He fucking bolts.
Can I get a condensed version of the timeline again? So when did he borrow the money?
So he started around 2017. That's when he first contacted the family that owns the farm.
Okay.
And by August 2017, that's when they incorporated as an actual brewery.
Okay.
And then September 2018 is when...
So this is super recent.
Yes, this is very
he just
recent.
took off.
And Christmas, he just leaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's even pictures of like what he was building outside. It looked pretty nice. There was like 4 taps. There was a nice bar.
Yeah.
It was under like a kind of a shelter,
Like a canopy or something.
like a pavilion.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was something else that was already on the farm property that they're converting into a beer garden. But he just disappeared and he's gone.
and by disappeared, as in he took all his clothes, and that's about it.
And his family.
And his family.
Yeah, he took
Yeah.
his kids, he took his wife, he took all his clothes. Apparently Brandon, who was one of the owners of the farm, went over to check his house because he wasn't showing up for work, and everything was gone. The house was unlocked. There was chickens running around outside. Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
chickens.
That's Kentucky.
Yeah.
In farm town.
Left all his tools at the brewery where he was building the beer garden.
So, I mean, do they suspect foul play, or they're saying he is the foul play? Because technically he left these people
Yeah.
with a beer garden.
Right. Well, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
He is the foul play
Okay.
because this is not the first time he's done this.
Is that even his name?
It's one of his names.
Okay.
So we're going to jump all the way back to 2007.
20.
I know.
20. All right.
I said it- I know,
Let it
sounds
happen.
stupid.
Let it happen.
It sounded, I don't know. It sounded like it had more gravitas that way. I don't know why.
2007. Can we just start saying 7? Like, at what point in time can you just say, like, 7? You could say 10, right?
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
14.
yeah.
Just say 7.
I feel like sometimes people want to say 07.
I do enjoy a good aught.
Yeah.
I'm an aught person. We refer to our tech data as aught. Yeah.
Then you ought to keep doing that.
But ting.
So, 2007, Stephen Foster garners his first job as a head brewer.
Okay.
According to Michael's research, everything before 2007, I had to break myself of the habit. Everything before that is kind of a mystery.
Fuzz.
Just fuzz. But he garners his first job as a head brewer at the Bowling Green Brewery.
Of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
There you go. So we start in Kentucky, and we're jumping back to Kentucky. This is the origin story.
Okay.
During his time there, he was blamed for a lot of the poor quality and infections in the beer, like quality dipped. And when he was confronted about infections in the beer, he was saying it was due to the beer not being pasteurized. Yeah. So some people do pasteurize beer, and if you don't know what that is, it's after everything's done fermented and you want it to just stop all yeast,
Yeah.
reaction and everything. You just reheat it up to 140 degrees and it'll stop and you kill all the bacteria and all that stuff. However, most breweries don't do that. Most home brewers don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, by that logic, every home brewer would be making themselves sick.
Yeah. That's just a thing he told them.
I have experience that says otherwise.
Yes. Even as home brewers, we have experience that tells us otherwise.
Yes.
Things will evolve, but that doesn't kill them or make them infected.
Right.
It doesn't ruin the taste. It just changes the taste. That's why
Exactly.
people cellar things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said that. And then he also he didn't buy it himself. He caused the company to invest in a bunch of equipment that they didn't need.
Like all sorts of equipment.
Yeah, a bunch of equipment they didn't need, and it didn't fit Kentucky regulations.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, because he didn't know what Kentucky laws were.
Right. Which, as a head brewer, you need to have that information
Yeah.
readily
You
available.
would think. Well, especially if your experience that gets you,
Yeah.
quote,
Right.
That's
quote
what I'm
unquote,
thinking.
quote unquote experience that gets you this job is that you say you have 24 years brewing experience, including training time at the Weinstefaner Brewery.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an at least middle-aged individual then.
Yeah.
Right.
This
oh,
isn't
yeah.
like some asshole 22-year-old kid.
No, this isn't some kid. I believe he's in his mid-50s at this point.
He'd
And-
have to be.
Yeah. I think I want to say 56, but I also read a bunch of other stuff for the next segment that had a lot of old people doing stupid shit. So
You could have read that he's 50.
Yeah.
He could have 5 ages. We don't even
yeah,
know.
exactly. That's the other thing is he does have a couple of aliases and things like that. So
Right.
The only thing people do know about him is that he has a wife and kids that he carries along with him on these adventures.
Adventure.
Can you imagine that
Adventures.
being your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, it
Awkward.
gets worse because even though we started the story in Kentucky and it began in Kentucky, it goes all over the country.
I'm sure.
So 2011, he actually finds himself out of the country even. He's working for the Boston Brewing Company in South Africa, in Cape Town.
Huh.
Yeah.
Again, using his trumped up experience and credits and all that, he gets a job working in a Cape Town, South Africa brewery. At some point, he takes sick leave and then just starts working at a brewery down the street. His bosses at the Boston Brewing Company find this out, and then he flees South Africa.
Oh, my gosh.
At that time, after he fled from South Africa, he finds himself in Tucson, Arizona.
Naturally.
Yes. And he gets another job working for the Nimbus Brewing Company out of Tucson.
Okay.
Before he can do a lot of damage in there, he's only there for around 7 months. And the owners discover that his Weinstefaner credits are not true.
Fraudulent.
Fraudulent. And before they can fire him, though, he walks out and blames all his co-workers, saying that they were conspiring against him. And classic kind of con man.
Oh, God.
Right.
But what if he believes all of this?
There's a good chance he does.
Like, what if he's just totally pathological and just, like, believes that he actually has, like, done these things?
It's a good possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's always hard to tell with these crazy liars. I've known a pathological person
Yeah.
who has said crazy outlandish shit.
It
that-
takes like 2 minutes to prove wrong.
Well, it takes either it's hard to prove wrong or it takes 2 minutes to prove
Right.
wrong. Like some of them is like he owns land in states like Wyoming and shit.
Right.
And I'm not going to go looking for fucking deeds. So,
Yeah.
But he obviously this Foster character was hoping that you wouldn't call another country to get a reference.
Hello, South Africa?
Hello, South Africa. Has this guy fucked you over? Hello, Weinstefaner. How are things? We have this guy here. So yes, his 7-month stint at Nimbus, and then September in 2011, he starts work at the Four Horsemen Brewery out of South Bend, Indiana.
Okay. We're getting closer to home.
Getting closer
yeah.
to home. So in South Bend, Indiana, he spends his time as a brewer. He actually stays there for 2 years, from 2011 to 2013.
Huh. So he finally figured out how to brew beer.
No. No, there
How do you
were...
stay on for 2 years and not at least fumble your way through it, though?
You would think. You would think.
I apparently I would.
That is probably the biggest baffling thing to this is like for all these years, we're already talking 11 years
Yeah.
of scamming in breweries.
Right.
And he never actually figured out how to brew beer because apparently the Four Horsemen Brewery, the beer was constantly bad and getting infected and things like that. There was also another anonymous source in the story that said that they had contracted out brewing from Four Horsemen, but that beer was crap too.
Right.
But they just had to do it to keep their brewery afloat and then eventually put on their own brewer. They were fine.
Right.
But November 2013, Mr. Foster up and disappears again. And because of that, Four Horsemen goes bankrupt.
Bastard.
He's killing people's dreams.
Like he completely destroyed the brothers that were owners of this brewery.
This doesn't even sound like he's doing it on purpose. It just sounds like he's too stupid to know better.
Yeah,
Just
it's
leaving a wake of destruction.
like
Just
a
incompetent.
normal employee is 40 hours a week. A head brewer is putting in easily 60, if not more hours. So
Yeah.
you're doing this 60 hours plus a week for that many years, and you still haven't figured out how to do it?
right.
This guy's an idiot. Like, he is just accidentally committing crimes.
Yeah.
He's just too stupid to plan this.
he's too stupid to learn, and it's basically as soon as he feels the pressure, he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They're
Folds
picking
like a
on
cheap
me.
suit.
yeah. But from everybody that was interviewed, he would come in and he would talk to like investors and owners and things like that, and they don't necessarily know anything about brewing. But he could talk the game to convince them to hire him. But as soon as he would get into the brewery
Yep.
with assistant brewers who probably have at least more knowledge than you and I, Adam,
right.
they're higher up than a home brewer. They're learning, and so they know things like sterilization. They know how to properly make a batch and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
They just know how to do it. So when they see him fucking around, they go,
Wait
"Hey,
a
something's
minute."
up.
Yeah.
This ain't right."
Hey, you say anything with enough conviction, people will believe you.
Yeah. So he can buffalo people who don't have brewing experience, but as soon as the people who do have brewing experience run into him, he gets the pressure on and he just bolts.
Right.
So 2014, he goes into Tennessee and he pairs with Knoxville Sawworks. Same story, shitty beer, orders $250,000 worth of equipment
Jesus.
that wasn't needed.
Right.
They sent it back.
I'm glad they were able to.
Yeah. He's only there for a little bit and then bolts again. By March 2015, he tries to open his own ale house called the Seaver Ale House in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And it was going to be in an old KFC.
I don't know why I find that so
Not
It's just funny.
Not an old Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Nope, not an old Pizza Hut, old KFC. Didn't work out. He bolts.
Shocker.
Yeah, he bolts before it even gets opened. And I guess he left his business partner high and dry with the investment. Late 2015, this is when it comes home for us.
Yeah. This is when it stings just a little bit more.
Stings a little bit more. So you may or may not heard of Windridge Farms.
Yes.
They're out of PA. They're out of like South Central PA.
had a
It's fun to
Windridge-
say it that way.
I haven't had a Windridge Farms beer in like 2 days.
In like 2 days.
I was in Ohio for it. I don't know if that counts for anything.
But yeah, they're pretty known in the Pittsburgh area.
Right,
We get
yeah.
distro from them.
Yeah.
I think they're maybe a little bit more known for their ciders. At least that's what I drink from them. I like their ciders.
Right. They make
Yeah.
good ciders.
But late 2015, that's when Stephen Foster starts working for them against the advice of the brewer who was leaving.
Oh.
So
He just said, hey, don't hire this guy.
yeah. So brewer Jared Barnes was apparently leaving Windridge Farms, and Foster was going to be his replacement. And he said, hey, probably don't hire this guy. Seems like a fuck up.
And they did it anyways.
And they did it anyway. They just might have needed somebody, or he convinced them otherwise. But he wound up costing that brewery $100,000 in dumped batches.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh. So it was so bad it didn't even make it to the market to be judged as lesser quality.
Right.
They just had to dump it right then and there.
That's sacrilegious.
Unfortunately, there was something I read from a Pittsburgh magazine.
Okay.
It was on the Night Wire, and this was when they were announcing Stephen Foster as as the brewer. It was a fluff piece basically for Windridge Farms promoting it within Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
One of the quotes from the Nightwire magazine goes as such: "All the brewing equipment in the world won't do you any good unless you have a team of talented people behind the scenes."
Ouch.
Yeah.
About that.
I mean, granted, I believe the family that owns the brewery as well as the cider maker who also works there, they do fine work. So.
Right.
Yeah. It is eventually Stephen Foster leaves there because he's a fuck up.
I feel bad for the people whose reputations he's ruining too.
Yeah,
If you're just like, up and coming brewer or something and you work for one of these breweries and like, oh, I don't want to hire that guy. They put out crap beer. And it's like, well, it's not their fault. It was this guy.
Yeah, exactly. There's companies that have been having crap beer on tap because of him. There's companies that have been bankrupt because of him. There's companies that just, like you said, get a bad reputation. Or they just straight lose money because of him.
Does anybody have a picture of this guy?
Yes, we do. We actually do have pictures of this guy.
Okay.
It was part of Michael Muller's original post, and we'll put it up on our Twitter as well.
Like, if you're not
there
from
has to be,
Pittsburgh-
don't hire this guy.
Yeah, like if you're not from Pittsburgh, you wouldn't know this, but they increased our drink tax here. And so every bar in Pittsburgh took a picture of the councilman who did that, which was Dan Honorato. And so you couldn't go into a bar in Pittsburgh that didn't have a picture of Dan Honorato and it said, do not let him in. And they would
fuck
actually
this guy.
encourage you to draw like devil horns and black out his teeth because the pictures were all over the bar. And I mean, that went on for at least a year where you could, anywhere you went, you knew his face because don't let this guy in the bar.
Right.
So I feel like there should just be like you get your little independent brewing logo and also a picture of this guy. Don't let him in here.
And that's the thing is with conmen like this, they just jump state to state. So a small brewery in Tucson may not have the same wouldn't have contact with Windridge Farms, wouldn't have contact with the next place he hit, 81 Bay Brewing in Tampa. Going down to Florida.
Can we like go one above that? Like there's 52 districts if we count Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So just, when you get your license, also here's a picture of this guy.
So that's the other thing. I actually skipped over it because it wasn't beer, but in that time between 2007 and 2011, he apparently was working at rum distilleries in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Did he figure that out? Because if you can't learn how to make rum there, you've just totally wasted your life.
Well, obviously he didn't because he's still scamming breweries.
Oh, my Lanta.
So, 2016 is when he went on to ruin things down at the 81 Bay Brewing in Tampa. And then that brings us to 2017, back to the St. Arnulf Brewery.
Right.
Arnulf. I do want to leave with one last quote, though. It's a much more apt quote than what the Nightwire provided. This is coming from Jared Barnes, the guy who left Windridge, and he actually now owns Collusion Tapworks in York, PA. So check that one out.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, if you're in that side of PA.
Redemption.
Yeah. He actually has a pedigree behind him, too, like a real pedigree.
Right.
He started brewing at Southern Tier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then worked at Windridge and now has Collusion. But his quote on Stephen Foster is that he's a fat, lazy piece of shit who does nothing but fuck up people's dreams.
Oh.
This was pulled from a Reddit post when he found out that Stephen Foster found his way into that 81 Bay Brewing down in Tampa.
Goodness.
And he's like, I hope you guys didn't hire that guy. And they're like, unfortunately, we did. We learned our lesson.
We're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
I want to meet the wife.
Yeah.
I want to meet the woman that's like, oh, honey, I'm
This is
sure all
normal.
of these companies hate you, but I'll move all around these different cities and countries and continents. Yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah. That's got to be madness to drag a wife and kids around the country.
Right. Every 6 months, 12 months, 18 months.
Because you got to leave town because people are finding out you're a fuck up.
Right.
I don't understand how you don't learn to do the damn thing.
You're
that's the
exposed
part
to
I
it
can't.
so
Yeah,
much.
I can't wrap my head around that.
It's amazing that this guy has survived and continued to do it. He does also have his aliases. He sometimes goes by Scott Foster, and he sometimes goes by Steven Sala. So those are other names to look out for. But
Got it.
you know, we have no problem posting his picture on all our social media. Be like,
Right.
do not hire this fucking dude.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's oof.
if you're ever in a brewery and it says something about the head brewer and it matches one of those names,
If you see that come up in a
put
news
your
article,
wallet back in your pocket, turn around and leave.
yeah.
Ask to speak to the owner.
Yeah, leave a note with the owner. That's the other thing that always like astounded me is like there's in Michael Muller's article, he linked to a bunch of other articles that were, you know, from these opening breweries, and they all touted this guy as such an amazing brewer because he had 24 years experience and he worked, you know, in Bavaria. And it's like,
Oh, before they knew.
right.
Right.
Before they knew
They're
things
like,
went,
what
yeah.
can we expect from your brewery?
Yeah.
Like, great things, JK.
Yeah, great things. We got this guy. He's so good. And then, like, it got repeated over and over. So obviously nobody's looking into him.
Right.
I feel like if you, like, I know if you're actually a head brewer and you're spending that many hours in the brewery, then you probably don't have time to home brew. But I feel like that should just be like a thing. Like, if you want to come into my restaurant or brewery or whatever and brew beer, like, bring me your product and let me taste what you're working with.
Right.
That should be like, I don't need your piece of paper. I want to sample what you have.
Your 6-pack is your resume.
Yeah.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Like, as an editor, I have to provide a demo reel sometimes.
Right.
Here's what I've done in the past. Look at all the nice things I've created.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's kind of weird, especially I understand if, like, a head brewer is kind of getting pilfered from one place to another.
Yeah.
You know, if they're headhunting, that makes sense because they're already working there. But this guy is coming
Absolutely.
off.
Right. And especially if it's something where he's being poached from a brewery that's doing really well.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a reputation for bad beer or infected beer or
Yeah.
a lot of discarded beer.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he was able to overcome all that unless he just went so far away from that situation that
Yeah.
it didn't affect him.
I think it's just going so far away and taking advantage of smaller people trying to open their own business.
Right.
So like this family in Kentucky, I think they were just a family in Kentucky and they saw a business opportunity, but they didn't know a lot about the business.
Right.
Yeah.
And they got hosed.
And they got hosed. They got stuck with a fucking beer garden that they can't use.
Right. What a
That-
jag off.
I would be out there drinking every night just to use the freaking thing. It's getting used, damn it. Doing holidays at my house.
Yeah. But that's the story of Stephen Foster.
That's
Is it-
frustrating.
I'm gonna punch this guy.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
dude,
With
he has a punchable
baseball
face
bat
too. Yeah.
that looks like
Just frustrating.
yeah.
He has a punchable face too.
He's not frustrating, I will say,
Non-frustrating though.
is this Matt Black
Truth.
by Brewhub.
Preach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church.
It's
Church.
delightful.
This is a fantastic beer.
It really
I
is.
really like this beer. I would have another.
I'm glad it's only 5% because I could just house that and not think that I'm drinking beer.
Right.
So if that was like 9%, I'd be a train wreck.
Yeah. But there's really nothing else to say. It's a really good beer. It's
Yeah,
really smooth.
absolutely.
I really enjoyed it. If you enjoy coffee beers, but you don't necessarily want something that's hearty and hefty, like you would have with a stout or a porter.
Yeah, if you don't want something that's bready,
Yeah.
I would say, because the coffee flavor is still really big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I'd say it's hearty on coffee flavor, but
Yes.
easy on the beer.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And that is certainly not a detriment whatsoever. This is a well crafted beer. So Brewhub, well done.
Beer flavored coffee.
I didn't even have to go 37 pages deep to enjoy this one.
No. On that note, let's take a break.
Come back, segment 3, Florida Man.
Hey everyone, my name is Drew, and I host a podcast called Dudes with Brews on a Porch, where we let the drinks flow and the conversations go. Each and every week, me and a friend of mine, we sit down, we try a different craft brew, usually from the state of Wisconsin, and we just sit down and have a conversation. We talk about all aspects of life. Once a month, we talk about paranormal stuff, and we always have a good time. You can find our show, Dudes with Brews on a Porch, on iTunes, Google Play, and anywhere else you find your podcasts. Grab a cold one and hang out with us each and every week right here on the porch.
Welcome back to segment 3 of episode 93 of the Hop Nation USA podcast.
Would you like your Sporty Man reference?
Go Sporty Man reference.
Would you like to go old school here?
Sure.
We'll go back to the great year of 2000.
Can you give me...
Nope. Dave Blaney. Boom. We're done.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. He's a NASCAR driver.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's now February.
Yeah.
And Daytona is only like 3 weeks away.
Hey, Florida relevant.
There you go.
Because we're doing a Florida episode.
Yes,
Florida beer.
So Adam's on his countdown to Daytona.
it is.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I still have that every now in my head. Anytime anybody brings up Daytona, I just hear that chime from the Sega game. Daytona.
Yeah.
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 It was awesome until Hydro Thunder came out.
Well, you can't argue against Hydro Thunder.
Nobody can argue Hydro
Right.
Thunder.
Stone cold fact.
Fact. To this day, if I had the money, I would buy 4 cabinets. Just me and my friends drinking beer, playing Hydro Thunder.
Oh my goodness.
That's the American dream.
That's right.
That's why we work so hard.
That's all I want. That's why I ain't having kids. I don't want to pay for no colleges.
Cutting in your Hydro Thunder money.
That's right.
So are you getting a cat named Grand Prix, or what's
Yes.
the plan?
Ooh, I might get a cat named Grand Prix.
Oh, goodness.
All right. On to our third beer of the evening from Florida, actually brought to us by our special guest, Katie.
Hi.
And you get the chance to introduce it.
No pressure.
Yes.
Okay, so this is from Intracoastal, which I mentioned earlier. They're awesome. Go there. Definitely recommend it. Lots of good beers, lots of rotating taps, and a few staples. So
where is Intracoastal located?
I'm pretty sure it's Melbourne.
Okay.
You think this can tells me? Melbourne, Florida, right there.
Melbourne, Florida.
See, I know things. I know
Melbourne.
I know 3 things. That's one of them.
Put another ship on the bobby.
There it is.
Right down there, Melbourne.
Wrong, Melbourne. This is more like Jerry Seinfeld's parents' Melbourne.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is One Big Doodle, and it is a snickerdoodle flavored Imperial cream ale. They gave us a really in-depth description. It says, a snickerdoodle cookie inspired Imperial cream ale. Cinnamon, sugar, and everything nice.
Cool.
End of description.
Nice.
So 8.0 and 28 IBUs. So basically it's sugar and cinnamon cookie in a beer.
Hell yeah, sugar bombs.
Yeah.
This is basically a mashup of the couple episodes past, because we had the holiday donut from Platform.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a snickerdoodle ale.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we had a cream ale episode.
Yes.
This is combining the both worlds, Adam. You
Yes.
should love it. You should, by all metrics, love it.
Why am I getting yelled at?
Because you love cream ales and we like the holiday donut.
Well, our order was strategic. We started with the
Yes.
IPA to
Right.
get it out of the way,
Yeah.
and then we went with the coffee beer because coffee is a palate cleanser and neutralizer, and then we're going with this
Cookie time.
one because
It's now time for dessert.
Adam was
cookie time.
punished enough last episode and deserves a break.
But by all metrics, you should love this one.
Okay.
So love it.
Jeez.
Do it.
It's a good thing you don't own a cat right now.
No, that's pretty on par because cat will like come up and like rub your leg, like love me, and then you bend down to pet it and it bites your hand. It was like too much love. You're done.
It's a 2-pet maximum. Everybody knows this.
All right, sniff test.
It smells like cookies.
It smells like Christmas.
It does.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your grandma baking at Christmas. Sans the pine tree.
Yeah, it smells more like Christmas than that holiday donut did.
It does.
Looking at it, it's indistinguishable from just kind of like a dark, like not dark, but a darker Belgian.
Yeah.
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 Like a Belgian triple, I would guess, on first looks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got almost like a tiny hint of amber to it compared to like a normal cream ale. It's a
Yeah.
little bit darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely darker than what we'd expect from a cream ale. But
But
Yeah.
with this one, I mean, quite honestly, you're not drinking it because it's a cream ale.
no,
Yeah.
you're drinking it because it's all full of sugar and
Because it's a cookie beer.
Right.
again, it's an Imperial cream ale. They had to put that Imperial in there because we learned that cream ales can only go up to 5.7%.
And IBUs
Yeah.
in like 2025.
Right. This
I got
is
that
both over.
I got that question right. I
Nice.
was excited about that.
I did not.
I know. I'm sorry.
It was ultimately your downfall.
No, it's not that one.
You asshole. How do you not know this? Shall we drink this?
Yes.
Yes.
Drink the cookie, the doodle.
You have to really want a sweet beer.
Wow.
Well, yeah, that is dessert for sure. You have to want a sweet beer.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know if Yankee Candle makes a snickerdoodle scented candle, but if they do, that's what this tastes like.
If you burn a snickerdoodle Yankee candle and you capture that smoke into a resin and put that on your tongue.
So
Yeah.
the big thing that I appreciate about this is not only the taste. It does taste really good, but for me, what I was finding was the mouthfeel was a very soft. It almost reminded me of a big, warm, soft cookie.
Despite the beer being cold, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's real easy
Yeah.
to drink.
It had that kind of not mushiness, but like fluffiness to it.
Pillowy.
Pillowy. Thank
Pillowy.
you. That is the word I was looking
Pillowy
for.
mouthfeel.
Yes, it has a pillowy mouth. Oh God, I can't. I don't know even like myself right now.
Drink your 8% beer. You're going to be okay.
Was it the point when you were saying pillowy mouthfeel that you also grasped your snifter in between your middle and
I did.
ring finger as a true debutante?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Is that what set you off? Or you're like, oh, sound like an asshole.
Up until debutante, all I could see was Brian from Family Guy when he joins the country club.
Yeah.
And the
martini
long
and the
bottom guy. He's always like,
I'm enjoying my cookie bear. Cookie.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's good.
I like
enjoy
it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's gonna be a fight to the finish.
Yeah, I can already say up front though, even though I do like it, I couldn't have more than one. No.
see? What
No.
did I say?
Yeah.
Can't have more than one of these. It's a one and done.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's also really sweet and thick.
This goes up there with some of the Blackwater stuff from
Yeah,
Southern Tier.
yeah, yeah.
Where it's a dessert boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is your dessert replacement.
And that's what I was saying earlier was like if I really wanted a sweet beer, I could drink a creme brulee and like have two of them. If I
Yeah.
was really in the mood, I cannot do two of this beer.
No.
I can't
Yeah.
do it. It is a sugar rush in a can.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's good. So,
Yep.
all right then, on to segment 3, and I've prepared a game.
Oh, yay.
And there was much rejoicing.
Hooray!
Huzzah.
I actually I didn't invent it. It's just password, but
Wow.
it's just password mixed with Cards Against Humanity. But you know,
Keep the mystery afloat.
I am so for Cards Against Humanity. The worse, the better.
so what I got going is a Florida man related game.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
For people who don't really quite get it yet, I don't know how you don't, but there is a meme on the internet called Florida Man, and Florida Man is all the headlines that come out of Florida because goddamn people in Florida do some weird illegal stuff.
Yes, but is it the 96.1 morning show? Had a game show kind of thing called Florida or Fayette County.
Oh.
And then you would have
Also believable.
yeah, so they would have like this ridiculous, like, you know, the stereotypical drunk guy DUI on a tractor after he tried to race a horse or something, whatever. And then the callers would have to guess, and then eventually they would tell you. And it was Fayette County a fair amount of time.
I
Which,
mean, that's
for you guys don't
yeah.
know, it's a couple counties,
Right.
central PA from where we are now. I think it's 2 over.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's.
It's like 2 over 1 down.
So, yeah, I don't know, but it is rural as can be, and
You get some goofy ass behavior.
oh yeah,
Night to Fayette.
drunk
Yeah.
riding a tractor, like that's not hyperbole. That happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one of those counties. It touches either Maryland or Virginia.
West Virginia.
Is it that far
West Virginia?
south?
Well, Virginia doesn't.
It would
touch
be West
Pennsylvania.
Virginia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's a Maryland in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I go by the old pre-Civil War map
Yes.
where Virginia and West
We
Virginia
are
were one.
pre Mason Dixon.
Where
Yeah.
it was just called the Old Dominion.
Yeah,
Yes.
Old Dominion. That's my map. I'm sorry. I grew up in a shitty school.
Old Dominion is terrible, though. I mean, seriously.
All right.
Yes.
So the Florida Man game goes like this. I will read you a headline,
Yes.
Okay.
but I'm going to leave a word out.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two the chance to guess what that word is.
I'm
Okay.
listening. All right.
You'll each just put in whatever you think is funniest. This is how Cards Against Humanity it is.
Agreed.
It's a little Mad Lib-ish.
Yeah, a little Mad Libbish.
Okay.
Yeah. Put in your funniest answer, but if you get it correct, I will give you an extra point.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So 2 points if you actually get the headline, 1 point for the funniest.
Okay.
Okay.
And our first headline goes like this. Florida man finds blank, brings it to Taco Bell.
Oh, I can cheat. I know this one.
I mean, if you know it, you know it. This is all also based on...
Go for it.
Yeah.
Dead raccoon.
That is not the correct answer.
Oh, that happened though.
It happened. It's not the one I'm going for.
Oh my God.
boy.
What else do you bring besides a dead raccoon?
So interestingly, just a quick side to this, I saw 2 headlines that were basically the same. Man attacks girlfriend with burrito. And Florida man attacks girlfriend with banana.
Oh, wait, you said Taco Bell.
I said Taco Bell,
The
yeah.
dead raccoon was a McDonald's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was
Totally different.
I thought it was McDonald's or Burger King.
It was
but,
McDonald's.
Yeah. But no, this is Taco Bell. So what did a Florida man bring to Taco Bell? You can change your answer from
I'm
dead
going to
raccoon
change.
now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I appreciate that. Pet snake.
All right, Katie's going with pet snake. Adam,
I got
what did
nothing
the
else.
Florida man bring to Taco Bell?
So I'm gonna say, dead snake.
Not a pet, just one he found.
It's a dead snake.
Well, sorry, neither are the correct answer.
Boo.
I will give Adam the point on this one, though.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
dead snake conjures more images of just finding something and bringing it in.
Can you guys slice this up and put it in
Yeah.
a burrito?
Oh, God.
Exactly. However, the correct answer is Florida man finds hand grenade.
Oh, we were so far off.
The story goes, an old man was doing his metal detecting, you know, the hobby that old people like to do. He was doing his metal detecting on a beach in Florida,
Beach better have my money.
and he found a World War II era hand grenade and
Obvi.
took it
Why wouldn't that be in Florida?
Yeah.
In the sand.
in the sand.
It's Viet Cong all over again.
Found it, put it in his trunk, and then I guess decided to go have lunch at Taco Bell. While he was there, he called the police. So it's not the worst story. It's just he didn't prioritize.
Walk in with it in his hand like,
Right.
I'd like to use this to buy a chalupa.
What can I get for this steel pineapple?
How many boxes? Yeah.
Give me all your tacos.
Just poorly prioritized. He should have called the police after he found it, not got lunch, because the Taco Bell did have to be evacuated.
Guarantee you this guy's like 83 years old, just doesn't give
Something
a
like that.
shit about anything.
Yeah. Our next headline goes like this: Florida man drives his car into the water because. I'll start with you, Adam.
Because he found a snake in his car.
Okay. You gonna stick with that thread, are you?
I'm sticking with snakes.
Moses told him to.
Ooh. Katie's gonna get the point on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
And I'm actually gonna give her a half point on top of it.
Okay.
Because the correct answer is Florida man drives his car into the water because Jesus said so.
See, I was going to go Jesus, but it seemed obvious. Shit. Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you half a point
I'll
because
give you that
did
one
get
too.
religious.
Thank you.
You did get religious figure.
Thank you. Jesus just seemed obvious.
So much for being the co-pilot.
Yeah. So the story goes, this
Dog is my co-pilot.
this guy drove his Ferrari 360 Modena
No.
off a pier into the ocean.
Oh.
He was rescued from his car.
Fuck him. Get the car. Jeez, oh man.
It's a nice car. I actually pulled this off of, I believe, odometer.com.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's a site that you visit, Adam, I don't know if you do or not.
Not yet.
But when asked by the officers why he would do such a thing, he said, Jesus made me the smartest man on earth, and it's hard to have that much responsibility. Money is going to be irrelevant in 2 days. Remember to smile. Our third headline. It goes like this. Florida man learns the hard way he stole blank, not blank.
Oh, this is a two-carter.
Two-carter. He learns he stole blank, but not blank. Katie, I'm going to start with you.
He stole blank, but not blank.
He stole blank, not blank. Case of mistaken identity, maybe. For a hint.
I want to say like pellet guns and not real guns. But I feel like that's too many words.
Yeah, the blanks are as much as I admitted. It doesn't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, pellet guns, not real guns. He learned this the hard way. Adam, what do you think he stole and learned the hard way that he didn't steal?
I think he stole a bear cub instead of his neighbor's dog.
Ah, that's a good
I like that one. Don't pick mine. Pick his.
Well, neither of you are on the nose.
Wait. I have one more, though.
Okay.
You don't have to give me any points for it
Right.
if it's right.
I'll give you a half point if it's
Okay.
right.
He stole blank, not blank, and learned the hard way. He stole heroin, not coke, and learned the hard way.
I'm going to give you a half point because you're pretty close.
I wasn't trying to steal.
Yeah.
Can he still have his? He still gets his point.
Adam gets a point.
Who's
and
keeping
then-
track? Because I'm not.
I am.
Okay.
I got it here.
Good.
You're tied at 2.
Okay.
The real headline is Florida man learns hard way he stole laxatives, not opioids.
That's worse.
Oh no.
Oh.
So apparently this man in, I believe it's Pinellas Park, Florida, he was living at this home and was caught on video stealing a bottle labeled hydrocodone out of a locked box from the people he was living with. I don't know the living situation completely.
Yeah.
But the pills were not hydrocodone. They were actually Walmart brand laxatives.
Whoops.
That sounds like he was set up.
Probably.
First of all, it sounds like he was set up. Second of all, if he is an opioid addict, actually the only long-term side effect physically
It's constipation.
It's constipation. So he might have actually done himself like a favor.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not all bad. There is a...
I felt better. I wasn't sure why.
All right. So we are tied,
Dun dun dun.
which means I do have a tiebreaker.
Yay.
Let's make this happen.
I'm going to read you a question, and then I'll give you a chance to answer. Closest within 15 minutes will win.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Narrows down the frame.
Yeah.
Yes. A naked Florida man started a house fire around 5:30 p.m. when he tried baking cookies on a George Foreman grill.
No judgment.
Yeah. He told firefighters that he drank 2 liters of vodka.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Punched a horse.
Yeah. When did he start smoking weed? Within 15 minutes, when did he start smoking weed?
What time did he make the cookies?
The house fire started around 5:30, probably more around 5 with firefighters responding.
When did he start smoking weed?
Yeah. When did he start smoking weed?
12 hours before.
So you're saying he started smoking weed at 5 a.m.
Yeah. No.
Or 5:30 a.m.
Oh, the house fire was at 5:30 at night?
Yeah, the house fire was at 5:30 p.m.
No, I assumed it was in the 5:30 a.m. Like stoned up all night. Cookie seemed like a good idea. Burns down the house.
2 liters of vodka in him.
Yeah. I just naturally assumed if somebody drank 2 liters of vodka that it happened overnight and not like throughout the course of the day that you're now burning down your house at 5:30 in the afternoon when most people are getting off work.
That's because you're a productive member of society.
That's because you don't live in Florida.
That's because I don't live in Florida. My in-laws live in Florida. They're from New Jersey, though, so it's not better, but it's whatever. They don't listen to podcasts, so we're fine.
Yeah, but who invited this guy doesn't take that, you Jersey dum-dums.
Take your water and get out of here.
I hate New
water.
Jersey.
Sorry, water.
Yeah, take your water and go fuck yourself.
Water. Oh, you know what's fun about New Jersey, though? They say all 3 syllables in Florida.
Florida.
Florida. Florida.
We're going to Florida.
They also say orange. Orange, coffee, Florida, water. Can you guys tell my husband's from New Jersey? He doesn't talk like that, actually. He's in the military long
He
enough.
don't talk like that. He learned better.
No, just it fell out of him. Just being in the military, I think it just fell out of him. Okay. When did the guy start smoking weed? I don't have like a time. I just want to say right after he called the cops.
Right after he called the cops. So
Right.
let's say 5:10.
Sure.
Although he didn't call the cops
Well,
or the
like,
firefighters.
Right
they were-
after the fire started.
Okay, so
Like went outside and was like, "Oh, we're fucked."
no, he didn't even go outside. So the full story is he was so fucked up that the firefighters had to pull him out of the house because he was still trying to cook.
I mean, if I had
And
2
things
liters
were
of
on-
vodka
yeah.
in me, yeah, that
Things
sounds
were
right.
on fire around him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say around the same time.
Okay, so he started smoking weed around 5:10 p.m. We'll say
I'm going to go with 6:30
6:30
p.m.
After
the cops have shown up, the firefighters have shown up, everybody's on scene, and he's like, well, I'm screwed anyways. Just
So he sparked up while everybody was still there, and then
Yes.
was arrested for that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not what happened, but that's a fun
right.
story. So he started smoking weed at 9 a.m.
See, I was on the right track initially. I should have stuck
Yeah.
it out.
You were on the right track because that's also
Son of
when
a
he started
beach.
drinking the vodka.
That's a day.
Yeah, he drank 2 liters of vodka, smoked some weed, and then started a fire trying to bake cookies.
That is a day.
Yeah. And was found naked in his house as things burned around him and had to be dragged out of his house because he
Wow.
was so fucked up he didn't understand he was in danger.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes. So, Katie, with your time guess of 5:10 p.m., you're actually closer than Adam, who guessed 6 p.m.
Okay.
So you won.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You won.
I feel like nobody won in that situation. That poor man.
I can tell you who did win, though. All of us after drinking this beer.
Yes, we won.
Yes, this one.
We
big
won because
Doodle.
we had good Florida beers and then got to laugh at other people's misfortunes.
Yes.
That's true.
So the one big Doodle by Intracoastal, it's a Snickerdoodle Imperial cream ale, which is of course the first time I've ever heard of an Imperial cream ale.
I think they just have to slap it. Well, like it's 8% beer. Like,
Yeah.
what do we do? Well, I don't know. Imperial IPAs are pretty strong. Just
It's an Imperial cream ale. What the
boom.
Everybody's got that, sure.
hell? I'll be the first to say I really like this beer.
Yeah.
This is a big, like we mentioned earlier, big dessert beer. You can only have one,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna have one, this is a good one to have.
If you're pre-diabetic, maybe don't.
Maybe not.
That's a very solid point.
Maybe don't.
Maybe no on that one.
If you're already diabetic, throw caution to the wind. Have at it. See what happens.
Take a shot beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dose up on your insulin. Get ready for it.
Put that M64 down. You got this.
So I believe it is time that we got to go to the podium.
The podium to represent all three of our wonderful Florida beers. I will actually go first.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So bronze, I'm actually going to give it to the Space Pope.
Okay.
I thought it was a fine beer. It's completely drinkable. I like it a whole bunch. But nothing really stands out from other IPAs in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, it's good. It's completely fine. If you can get your hands on this, try it out. I like it. It's good. I don't know. But there's nothing standoutish about it.
Yeah.
And I think the other two beers that Katie brought us, they have standout parts about them.
Mm-hmm.
So silver I'm going to give to the One Big Doodle by Intercoastal. I like this beer a whole lot too. It stands out because it has that really nice mouthfeel, really nice pillowy mouthfeel. It has a really good cinnamon flavor without tasting like goddamn Fireball. Like it's a tasty cookie cinnamon, not garbage, hot candy cinnamon.
It is pure cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good, but we've already said it over and over. You can only have one. What you can have a whole bunch of, though, is the Matte Black by Brew Hub. That's a really good beer. I don't necessarily like lagers, and I am really surprised.
You do now.
Yeah. Well, again, this also falls in line with the Cold Drip City. I don't love blondes either,
Yeah.
but the coffee flavor works so well with it, and it does cover up a lot of the caramelly maltiness that I don't love in lagers. Mm-hmm. It does have like kind of a lager back end, but it's nice and smooth. It's easy to drink, and at 5%, you can have a bunch of these. This is just like an all day kick it back on a Saturday drinker. Mm-hmm. I could do a 4-pack of this one easy. That's my rankings.
I like it. Katie, I will give the microphone over to you. What was your bronze? What was your silver? What was your gold for this episode? Your first ever podium, I might add.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you. I don't care. I'll bulldoze right over you.
My name's been on the show, just not me. Samesies, actually. So I enjoyed
The Space Pope.
I haven't watched Futurama in so long. But yeah, I liked it. Like I said before, I could just easily crack one open while I'm making dinner and drink it. It's not overwhelming, but it's also not outstanding. I guess there's nothing. It's an IPA. Ta-da! Yeah, One Big Doodle, Intracoastal. Seriously love that brewery. Yeah, it's super, super cookie beer. Like, it's not cinnamon like a big red cinnamon. It is cinnamon sugar like a Snickerdoodle or Annie Ann's pretzel or something along those lines. Like, it is just fantastic. It's definitely a cream ale. Definitely has like that sweet lightness to it, but it's very sweet. So, I mean, if you're a huge sweet person, if, I don't know, Sunset on the Beach or whatever mixed drink is your jam, do that. If you're a gin and tonic person, it's going to be way too sweet for you. One side note, I actually don't know that I paid attention to it before, but this can is ridiculous. The artwork on it's like some weird tribal-y thing.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It's very intricate.
It's good to look at. I don't know what it is or
It's
like
a doodle is
anything.
what it is.
It is a doodle. That might be it. It might be a doodle.
That's notebook doodling where you just make the crazy loops and everything. You make flowers and loops all over the place. That's what it is.
So just for an additional note on that, you say it's a notebook doodle. the background of the label is
Oh,
notebook
look at that.
paper.
It is.
Oh, I never got that.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, look, it's
Yeah.
college ruled notebook paper.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is. Yeah, I never got close enough to the can until now.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it is a doodle.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was right.
Nice. And then the matte black is definitely my gold place winner there. I don't really know what else to say about it. If you hate coffee, don't drink it. Like sometimes like you can pick up
That's
a beer
true.
that says it's like, vanilla coffee, whatever, and it's kind of all blends together, so it's more frappuccino than anything. Like, no, this is coffee. It is a coffee lager, end of story. So I like that it's 5%, so you can keep drinking them. And I basically drink black coffee from 5:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. every day. So that's my jam.
Right on.
It fits in there
Yeah.
in that schedule.
That's all I got.
So for me, I'll jump on this podium bandwagon. I'll start with the bronze medal position, to the surprise of pretty much no one. I'm gonna put the Cigar City, the Space Pope there. Yes, I know. Gasps from the audience. The folks that were taking the wagers out in Vegas are losing their shit because they lost a whole bunch of money. Because nobody expected me to put an IPA in the bronze medal position, but here we are. It's not a bad beer. You guys covered it quite well, and you guys enjoy IPAs and understand IPAs a lot better than I do, but you said everything correctly. Yes, it's a good beer. It's a well-crafted beer, but it doesn't really jump out. And especially for me, since it's not my jam, it didn't do enough to jump up. So if you are an IPA person, grab it. It's a good beer for an IPA, for the style. It's just not for me, so it goes in the bronze medal position. So between silver and gold, this is where things get a lot more interesting, and I'm struggling a little bit here because these are both really good beers. And I would have no problem putting either one in either position because they are both that good and they are that closely tied. However, I am going to put the Intercoastal in the silver medal position. I'm going to put the One Big Doodle there for one simple reason, and it was brought up previously, is that the coffee Schwartz beer, it's not just a lager. It's a black lager. It's a Schwartz beer.
Schwarzbier.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is a little bit lighter, and it kind of comes down to personal preference. I like coffee beers a little bit more than I like, big desserty beers. So the One Big Doodle, great beer. I could see myself having one. Can't have 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. I can think about doing that with the matte black. I would have zero problem having that One Big Doodle in my fridge, but I'm also going to have more of the matte black in my fridge.
Yeah.
So that gets the gold medal position. And that's the only reason is I think I can drink a little bit more of the matte black, so that's going to go in the gold level position.
As just a note from a freelancer, I would probably drink the matte black just as during the day.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
while I'm working.
Yeah.
Because I can do that. You guys can.
Well, I mean, it's 5%. It's low
Yeah.
enough. It's not going to mess you up.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not going to get tore up on it.
the One Big Doodle is 8%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're getting a lot of flavor and a lot of alcohol in one swoop there. So
It's the kind of beer, once you get past the age of 25, you kind of have to start planning around a little bit.
yeah. Yeah.
Make sure the rest of your calendar is clear for the next hour or two.
So I told Steve at the last beer tasting, I actually did drug myself with a 17% beer accidentally.
Ooh.
Oh, the next day hurt. I had one tiny little 5% beer and then a 17% beer, and I was done.
crushed.
I didn't even finish it, and I was done. I left like 2 inches in the glass, and
Somebody else get this.
Yeah.
comparably speaking, 8% is tolerable.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just
Yeah.
not an all-day drinker.
Yeah, 17%. You kind of know. I mean, assuming you know that you're drinking 17%, you know that, oh, hey, I'm probably going to get wrecked up on this.
Yeah.
You plan for it. I go, today's the day I'm having
Yes.
the worldwide stout.
Yes.
It was an afterthought because I thought I saw 7. I did not.
Yeah.
Well, no, you did.
Yeah, I
It
saw
was just
a
preceded
7.
by a 1 before
Yeah,
that.
and
Your
so
thumb
I
covered the one.
got a little bit into it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm already buzzed, and I've had 2 sips, and I went back and looked at the can, and I'm like, oh, basically doing shots now. Got it.
Oh no.
Crap.
Oh no. Things have gone bad.
Oh man, did they? Yeah.
All right, Katie. Well, did you have fun on your first time?
I did. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
Greatly
bringing us
appreciate
beer
it.
from around the world.
Yeah.
Around the world.
I can.
By Florida, I mean that.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Florida, Texas. That's probably it.
Canada.
In probably like a year and a half from now, I can try and get you something from Guam.
Ooh.
All right.
Does Guam have breweries?
Yeah, they have a mango beer.
Ooh.
It's
Mango.
okay. If you're already if you're already hammered, they're great.
All right.
Huh.
I like to think that in a year and a half, we're going to be a standard segment on Good Morning America. So you're going to have to travel to New York to bring those beers.
No, that's fine.
Good morning, America.
Like I said, I fly for free.
I want to be
so-
on Netflix.
Okay. Well, both.
Yeah.
How's that?
I want to be on Netflix.
Dear
Actually-
Netflix.
Honestly, I want to bring you more from Intracoastal, but I just want to go back to Intracoastal.
That's just
fine.
your reason.
Intercoastal's always welcome to send some up too.
They make a really good beer.
Yeah. Hey, Intercoastal, if you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the podcast every Friday, as you should, then all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, like Stitcher, Podbean, Google Music Play, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review because...
We are a 6-star show, but they only let us use 5.
And that's a bigger crime than going into breweries and telling them you have 24 years of experience.
You
And then-
jag off.
Bitching out. You fucking tool bag.
You're going to hell.
You're a bad person. I hope you feel bad.
Santa ain't bringing you shit.
And that's about all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell your friends. Share it. Let everybody know. Final words from other people. Go.
Katie, thank you for being on. Thank you for bringing the beers.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for being a fan of the show. We greatly appreciate it. You're more than welcome to come back.
I would
was a
gladly.
good time.
I would gladly come back. Thank you.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Praise and adulations.
Oh, and keep dead animals and hand grenades out of fast food restaurants.
Please do that as well.
PSA.
Also, don't put a grenade inside a dead animal and take it inside a Taco Bell.
You know what? That just might come up as our new Price is Right sign off. Remember, folks, keep your dead animals and hand grenades out of fast food restaurants. We'll see you next week with episode 94.